plane detection is a part of scene understanding in augmented reality. It allows us to replicate and interact with real-world surfaces, for example, placing objects, doing physics, or casting shadows. Using plane detection in the Immersive Web SDK is actually quite simple, and in today's tutorial we'll learn how to do that. So I'm here in a pretty much empty IWSDK WebXR project, and if you want to know how to set that up, simply watch the first tutorial of this series. So the first thing that we need to do is to make sure that plane detection and hit testing is actually required. So for that, let's simply create here a bracket and make sure that we set required to true for the plane detection, and the same thing we want to do for the hit test, so that both are actually in the scene and running. So then in the features below here, we want to go into the scene understanding and we want to set show wireframe to true. So this is a way of how we can actually see the AR planes that have been created. And if we go ahead in our console and do npm run dev and take a look at the simulator, so if we click here on Enter XR and on play, we can see the wireframes showing up. And these are, first of all, these white wireframes, and these are the planes, and the blue is actually meshing. And this is what we are going to do in another tutorial, which can also be used and is another way of scene understanding. But the white lines here are the actual surfaces. So we got horizontal surfaces, vertical surfaces, and anything in between. And this is something we can also later on filter. So for example, we could filter out all the horizontal surfaces and only do something with the ones which are horizontal. So then back in the code, let's actually go here into our then function. And here we want to start creating our logic. So first of all, we want to define a placement point, and we want to call this one placement point. And this one is going to be a new object 3D, which is going to be completely invisible. So we want to also create a new variable, which we want to call placement target. And this one will be a new transform entity. So world.create a transform entity. And we want to put in the placement point. And as you might remember from the last parts of this tutorial series, in order to actually register a entity or a object into our logic, so the ECS logic system, we can't simply only create this as an object 3D, but we need to actually create a transform entity. And this means that this object, this empty object, which is simply position, rotation, and scale, is actually part of the whole world logic and can also then, of course, be manipulated or be read later on. So then to the placement target, we want to add a new component, and this is going to be the environment raycast target. And here we're going to set some of the attributes, namely we're going to set the space to raycast space, and this one will be right. So for this tutorial, we're going to focus on actually placing objects with the right controller or the right hands. You could, of course, also do that with both hands as you wish, but in order to keep it simple, we're going to focus on right. So then we're going to create the cube geometry. So make a new variable cube geometry. And this is going to be the object that we will in the end instantiate or place, and we're only going to essentially already create the geometry here to later on use this when we actually instantiate the object. So we're going to say new box geometry, and we're going to set this to 0.15 on all dimensions. And then we're also going to create a material. So let's call this one cube material, and this one is going to be a new mesh basic material, so something really simple. And here we will set the color, and we're going to set this one to 0x and then 37b 5ff. And this is simply a hex color code, and you could simply go to something like color-hex.com and here choose or find out any color and just use this kind of color code here for the material, and without the hashtag paste that in here. So this is something you shouldn't know by heart. So next up, we're going to create a function which we want to call place cube. So this function is going to take an event, which will be the XR input source event, like this. And then, so what we want to do here, first of all, is to check that we're actually on the right hand. So let's go into event.inputSource.handedness. And we want to make sure that this is right. So let's say if this is not right, then we just want to return. So in this way, we make sure that we essentially only trigger when the right hand is pinching, so making the select gesture, or we are of course pulling the trigger button on the right controller. So as we earlier on added our environmental raycast target to our placement target, we made sure that essentially the placement target transform entity follows the raycast, which is this straight line that goes from the controller into the distance or from the hand into the distance. And this environmental raycast target component lets us also read out if actually our raycast target hits some kind of XR surface, like for example an AR plane. And so here below in our if statement, so what we can say here is that if from the placement target the component, so the value of the component environmental raycast target, if the XR hit test result is not undefined. So what we are doing here is we go into the component of the placement target, we get the value from the environmental raycast target, the XR hit test result, and if that is not undefined, that means that the raycast coming from the controller or the hand has hit some kind of AR or XR surface. So if that is undefined, we will return. But if it's not undefined, that means that we are hitting some kind of surface, which means that we can place our object. And here we are actually going to create a cube. So we then create a new mesh here with our cube geometry and the cube material that we defined earlier on. And then we're going to also set the position. So position.copy, and then we're going to take the position of our placement point and of course the position here. And we also want to copy the rotation, which is a quaternion in this case. So we're going to say we take the placement point and we're going to take the quaternion. And then we also want to set this a bit up so it's not stuck in the plane. So we want to call translate y. And we want to set that up by half of the size, which is 0.075. And finally, we shouldn't forget, of course, to create the transform entity in the world so that we can actually see this object like this. All right, so now we still, of course, need to call this method. So when do we call it? So we want to first of all make sure that in the world, so in our XR world, that we actually started the XR session. So let's actually listen to session start, not session end, like this. So if our XR session has started, then what we want to do is we want to listen once more to the XR and we want to do the get session. So now we are sure that the XR session has started. And if that is not null, we want to add an event listener and we want to here listen to select, which is our pinch or our trigger input actually. And if this is the case, we want to place cube. So that means that once the XR session has started and we're actually sure that it's not null, so it started, we want to add an event listener to the select event, which would be the trigger or the pinch movement. Then we want to call place cube, which is going to take the XR input source event, so the input state of our controller or our hand. And if we are here doing something with the left hand or left controller, we don't do anything. We're just going to return. And if also we don't have any XR hit test result, meaning that we don't hit any surface actually, like an AR plane, then we also want to return. But otherwise, we want to actually place our cube at the position of our placement point using the placement target as a reference. because this one has the environment raycast target component, meaning it is tied to kind of the hit position of our raycast space, right? So of essentially the line that is coming straight out of the right controller or right hand going into the distance. If this one hits anything, then we also have the exact position here where that hit appears. And in this way, we will actually place a cube at the position. And by the way, as it is a bit annoying, let's actually remove the mesh detection for now, because this kind of clutters the scene. So let's simply delete that feature so we have a bit of a cleaner XR scene. And then if we start this in the simulator in the browser and we click on Enter XR, we can see that we have, first of all, a much cleaner scene. And if we click now on the left mouse button, we can see that the cubes are placing pretty nicely. With Shift WASD, we can walk around and place a cube on any kind of real world surface, which is extremely nice. And then, of course, the same thing within the headset. Let's quickly refresh this one here and click on Enter VR. And here we can see, first of all, the AR planes, and then we can go ahead and actually place cubes somewhere here, which is super nice. So we can place them on the table or on the wall, somewhere as we wish. And I think I really like this kind of interaction with the real world, using pinching here in our case. This is actually being a lot more immersive than simply spawning a object somewhere. Because it feels like it really interacts with the real world, which is super nice. All right, but that's it for this tutorial. So I hope you learned something. And as always, thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.